I look back on it now and think to myself, well, you know, what a time we must have lived in, really, in those times, yeah. But I never wanted to be a soldier. I wanted to be a sailor. And I know I went down to the recruiting office as a boy to see if I could join the Royal Navy, and I failed the eyesight test. But eventually I did go to sea after all, because I joined Cunard White Star as one of their cabin boys. I think everyone thought there was going to be an absolute deluge of bombing and one thing and another, and the Germans would be over and bomb us to bits, what with the strength of Germany, and they overrun the Low Countries, Belgium and Holland and places like that. So I think it was a bit of a scary time, really. I look back on it now and think to myself, well, you know, what a time we must have lived in, really, in those times, yeah. Well, I was going up to see a friend, and I saw this girl in the window, and she was adjusting ladies' hats. And I thought, cool, I fancy that bird in there. At that time, a little girl, one of the shop girls came out, and I said, "Who's the girl in the window?" She said, "It's Peggy Mitchell." I said, "Ask her if she come out with me tonight." She said, "You've got a cheek at me." I said, "Of course I have." And we looked at each other, and she nodded, and I said, "Okay." And that night, you never guessed, we had the most romantic evening. Yeah, I took her to the All in Wrestling down at the Connaught Hall. Yeah, and she lapped it up. She thought it was great fun. So that was always a meeting we'll always remember. What did you do with your wife? I took her to the All in Wrestling. The war being what it was, we got married at the registry office. You know, you couldn't afford a big wedding cake with all the icing and things on it. And just had a little to-do in the evening kind of thing. The girl I married was wonderful. She was wonderful. And it wasn't long after that that I did get my call-up papers. I did all my training up in Liverpool, at a place called Dingle Vale, of all names. And the only thing, it was an infant school. So all the wash basins were 3 foot water green, and all the toilets were 3 foot water green. So you can imagine it was a bit hard going. But when we first started, there was mainly foot drill and things like that, obviously. And then when we got our first issue of rifles, they were Canadian Ross, which only held 5 rounds and had what they call a ring sight. They're a bit more awkward to drill with than later on when we had the proper Lee Enfields. We were made up into a squad. You were given to a sergeant, and then he came up to me and he said, "Have you been in the army before?" I said, "No." He said, "Cadets?" I said, "No." He said, "You'll probably end up getting yourself a stripe," he said, "the way you're carrying on." So I eventually did. I was made a Lance Corporal, and as soon as I was made Lance Corporal, they said to us, "Oh, we're being posted all next week, all of us." And the rumour was we were going to Iceland. I misinterpreted Ireland, so I ended up going to Ireland. I know I was billeted in an old empty house that was on the seafront. The big advantage of it was that it was next to the pub, which was known as the Seaview Hotel, which was about as big as this room, you know, about 5'5", but it was called the Seaview Hotel. And in fact, on payday, we used to get paid out in the Seaview Hotel. The landlord didn't mind, as he had people on there with cash. We had Southern Ireland, didn't we? Which then was neutral. So you could look down across the border and see all the lights on. And then you come to our border and it was black. So it was a very strange situation, really. I know we used to get a lot of people from Southern Ireland come over and join us. They wanted to join the British Army. Well, I think the food was better and, I don't know about the food, but the money was better. That was one of the things. They could send money home. Living right down the south coast, I had to leave Belfast, go up to Larne, go across to the other side, and then get a troop train that used to go all the way down south. And it was a heck of a journey, nearly 24-hour journey to go down there. I got an idea. I came home on leave, and they were all over in the shelter. And I walked in, and in those days we carried our rifles home with us. So, you know, they all said, "Oh, we'll be all right now. He's here now. Here, see them all off." It's rather funny. We were near an air base, which was our duty, looking after the air base, and they had a group of Polish pilots on the airfield, and they were devils. They used to come in and fly underneath the telephone wires. Oh, we all really go daredevils, that lot were. I took to army life quite well. I didn't seem to have any qualms about it. Well, in wartime, it's obviously not so comfortable, and I suppose not really enjoyable. But on the other hand, I suppose the fact that I've been to sea and one thing and another, I wasn't afraid of being away from home or anything like that. When I was in Ireland, we used to have what was known as a green envelope, which you could use to write home with. If you had ordinary mail, they used to slit them open, read them and send them out. But with a green envelope, they trusted you. You signed it to say that what was in there was purely, you know, I love you stuff. I used to do little drawings to send home to her, my little Diane, my little girl. I think she's 79 now. When we were down in Essex, we all got locked up in a camp. Anyway, someone said one or two of the chaps have sneaked off home. There's a hole in the fence. And I said, no. They said, yeah. So then I thought, well, shall I or shan't I? Shall I take the risk? Well, everyone said that Portsmouth would be alive with military police, being where it was, and you'd get caught, so it wouldn't be worth it. But then I thought, so I'll take the risk. So I did. I went to a hole in the fence, and I got down to Portsmouth, and it was like a dead town. No one, never saw a red cap even, not all the time I was there. And so I had a few moments with my wife. Oh, out of this world. Yeah, I can't say too much. I get upset when I feel about her because she's so lovely. We were together 74 years. She was the love of my life. Oh, out of this world. Out of this world, unbelievable. What was my baby came to be my little girl. And still is. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Just couldn't believe it. I don't believe she kind of got rain I was her dad for a while. You know, it took a bit to sink in, I think.